11 landscaping ideas for flower beds. Early spring is a magical time of year. Some of the first plants to greet us with flowers during this period are bulb plants. You are probably familiar with many of these and value them for their early blooming quality. Snowdrops Galanthus nivalis is one of the first to bloom, but crocus will not be far behind. Bulb plants are a wonderful idea, but think outside the box to create even more color in your flower beds as soon as winter snow recedes. Consider that hunk with the yellow petals, Adonis vernalis. It is an herbaceous perennial, not a bulb plant. It's similar in appearance and in terms of the blooming period to winter aconite, Aranthus hyemalis, which is a bulb plant. There are many kinds of jasmine, including winter jasmine, Jasminum nudiflorum. Grow it in a sheltered spot if you live in the north, and it will reward you with blooms in February. That brings us full circle because we began with plants, snowdrops and Adonis, that bloom in March. One drawback of growing bulb plants is that, after their blooms have faded and dropped off, your flower bed is still left with their leaves. Nor should you remove the leaves until they have turned brown, because, as long as they're green, they're sending much needed nutrition down to the bulbs. Here's the problem: these leaves, which are no longer attractive at this time, make for an eyesore in your landscaping. Most gardeners are well aware of the value that the traditionally grown peonies Paeonia lactiflora bring to your flower beds in May. But if you're looking for an idea that may be new to you, consider so-called tree peonies, P. suffruticosa. No, they're not trees. Although they're classified as subshrubs, they function more or less as perennials in your flower beds. Whether you grow P. lactiflora or P. suffruticosa, you can count on colorful blooms large enough to turn heads. The weather warms up considerably in June in many regions. So does the flower bed, because that's when torch lilies, Nymphophea, also commonly called red-hot poker plants, come into bloom. They bloom in several different colors: yellow, orange, red, etc., including the mango orange color of Terra Nova Nursery's Mango Popsicle. As long-blooming perennials, the color they bring to your landscaping extends through late summer. July is lily month. If you don't grow Lilium Stargazer, specifically, at least try growing one of the other types. Sure, some people regard them as tired, but the rewards they offer are still as great as ever. This includes the fact that they are among the most fragrant of flowers. Late summer is when the floral baton is handed to some of the old standbys, including garden phlox or tall phlox, Phlox paniculata. Something of an oddity is the Nora Lee cultivar, which bears both variegated leaves and bicolored flowers. Autumn needn't represent a fall from grace in terms of color in your flower beds, even if you live in a cold climate. Montauk daisy, Nipponanthemum nipponicum, is one option. You have to extend the floral color well into autumn. Also called Nippon daisy, cut back Montauk daisy in early summer to gear it to a fall blooming. Cutting it back keeps it more compact, which improves the fall display. We'll conclude by looking at 3 shrubs that aid your perennials in providing floral color, starting with Candy O, roses. Shrubs are part of the bones of a landscape. From early spring flowering shrubs to those bushes that bloom in late summer, growing a good mix of shrubs in your yard is one of the easiest ways to ensure that you will have something nice to look at throughout the spring and summer. Flowers for winter sounds like an oxymoron if you live in the north, unless we're talking about interior scapping. But winter heath Erica X darlingsis is the exception to the rule. This plant, which is related to heather, can begin blooming in November and can continue to bloom right through the winter months of December, January and February, and even on into spring. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.